Hey there, my friend. It's time for our weekly wisdom card draw. This is your time to pause, ground yourself in the moment, connect with your body and soul, reclaim the power you have to create your life in each moment, and commit or recommit to shining your light in the world. I'm going to draw a card from the Running Your World Wisdom Card deck, which is the companion deck to my book, Running the World, Marathon Memoirs from the 7 Continents. Each card has a picture from one of the 7 continents on the front and then a message on the back that is for inspiring you to think, reflect, and maybe take some action that brings you closer into alignment with who you really are. Now, before I dive into that, I would like to invite you to arrive in this moment. Letting yourself let go of anything that came before, let go of anything that will come after, and give yourself permission to just be right here, right now. It's so infrequent, actually, that we give ourselves conscious permission to be in the here and now. A lot of times we are unconsciously running off to the future or dwelling on the past and missing what's going on right now, which is the only time and place that we ever have to actually make a difference and show up as ourselves. So you can do that the most easily by connecting with the breath. Maybe you want to place a hand on your chest or on your heart. Close your eyes if that feels good. And if not, or you're driving or walking or somewhere, certainly keep them open. Do whatever feels best for you. There's no right or wrong answers here. So letting yourself just pause and notice the breath. You don't have to change it or control it or fix it. You don't have to try to take a deep breath or think too much about it. You're just noticing it. So just placing your attention on the sensations of the breath as it enters the body and as it leaves the body. May you feel it most strongly at the nose or at the mouth, or in the chest, or in the belly, wherever you're feeling it, just directing your attention there and letting it rest there. And if you're not really noticing it anywhere, placing a hand on the belly area and just noticing the rise and fall. If your mind starts to wander, no worries. That's very normal, very human. It likes to do that. Without judging it, just bringing your attention back to the breath. And as you continue to just breathe and be, I'm going to bring the cards to my heart and ask what message most wants to speak to you today and inspire you to take a small step into greater alignment with who you really are. And setting that intention out there, I'm going to shuffle the cards. And you can just keep breathing, being, noticing whatever is here for you to notice. Not trying to control anything or judge anything or fix anything. There is nothing wrong. You're exactly in the right place for you on your life journey. Right, and the message that has come out to speak to you today is acceptance. So I draw a card every morning for myself, and this is the one I drew today too. So we're on the right track. We're on the same path anyway. All right, acceptance. Here we go. This is from a beach in Port Douglas, Australia. And the message of acceptance is, are you arguing with reality? Wishing people or situations were other than they are? Wishing you were somewhere else in life? The tree doesn't argue with the wind, but plants its roots deep and lets its branches bend and flow. Acceptance doesn't mean you have to tolerate unhealthy relationships or circumstances. It doesn't mean you don't set goals and work to achieve them. But in order to create change, You need to start where you actually are, not where you wish you were. Grounding in reality gives you an actionable way forward through the inevitable winds of life. By all means, dream bigger than you think is possible. Then plant your roots deep in who you are, accept where you are, and take a small, achievable step towards the vision of where you want to be. Let that one sink in. Yes, the concept of acceptance often brings up resistance. Like, oh, if I just accept it, that means that I'm giving in or I'm giving up, and I'm not supposed to give up. And there's some stress there. Totally normal to think that way. But what if you looked at it as just that acknowledgement of the starting point? You can't start anywhere that you're not, because then you will just get frustrated and lost. So starting where you are, that's what acceptance is all about. So just noticing what's coming up for you. Maybe a story or an event comes to mind. What's something that it would be helpful for you to accept so that you can take that one small step into greater alignment with who you really are? As I've been doing, I'll read it for you again. So just relax, let the message wash over you, let the words kind of sink in without actively trying to grab onto them or do anything from this. Just let the message flow through again. Acceptance. Are you arguing with reality? Wishing people or situations were other than they are? Wishing you were somewhere else in life? The tree doesn't argue with the wind, but plants its roots deep and lets its branches bend and flow. Acceptance doesn't mean you have to tolerate unhealthy relationships or circumstances. It doesn't mean you don't set goals and work to achieve them. But in order to create change, you need to start where you actually are, not where you wish you were. Grounding in reality gives you an actionable way forward through the inevitable winds of life. By all means, dream bigger than you think possible. Then plant your roots deep in who you are, accept where you are, and take a small, achievable step toward the vision of where you want to be. One more time, let that sink in. Letting whatever is arising be okay. Maybe it's thoughts, maybe it's emotions. Maybe you don't notice anything particularly at all, and that's okay too. Whatever you're experiencing is completely normal. Taking in that message of acceptance and asking where it's leading you. So this week, I encourage you to explore this idea, right, of acceptance not being about giving up or just being resigned to it is what it is. It's saying, this is how it is today. What do I want to be different tomorrow? And what's one small step I can take to close that gap, to narrow the gap? And here's your picture again. You can see the trees, kind of the branches bending with the wind. So be the tree, plant your roots in who you are, and let the rest kind of sway and evolve and flow, and see what happens. My friend, have an amazing week practicing acceptance, and drop any comments if you have any thoughts or reflections on what the card means to you. I'd always love to hear them. Have an amazing one, and I look forward to seeing you next week.